Well, welcome to part 4 of the Mortal Kombat 2 movie is atrocious. And this time I have a man with me who spits so many flames that it even roasts me sometimes. It's Yagami Fire.
What's up, Napper? How's it going? Real glad to be back. I've enjoyed all of your movie videos up to this point. Actually, I have to admit, I haven't seen the third one yet because you put it out not too long ago. I haven't got a chance to watch it, but I will.
Okay.
But the first two are awesome.
Yeah, well, when you do, you'll find out how great the movie is. It's such a great movie.
I like the thumbnail.
I'm gonna make it even worse. I'm gonna make his face crazier for this thumbnail.
Well, for the people that don't know, you wanted this to be longer format, like breakdown, and we can really get into the nitty gritty of this movie and things we had a problem with, things we predicted, and of course, and things that we liked if there was things that we liked, to be fair.
Yep, and this is why I've brought Yagami onto this today, because I want to go through a structured breakdown of this movie, and I want all the people who are happy and love this movie and are jolly about it. I want to crush your dreams. I want to make you upset. I want you to cry when you go to bed tonight, because you don't deserve to be happy. If I'm not happy, you're not allowed to be happy either.
Napper's like the Grinch who stole Mortal Kombat 2.
Perfect. That's exactly
I will say, I'll say this. When we do this, when we go through this whole movie, if people have a problem with what we say or want to defend this movie, I would totally be up, because I know there are some creators out there that are defending this movie or saying it's awesome or whatever. And the thing I always love is, true fans love this movie. Get in the cage with me in a part 5 and we'll talk true fan shit. And we'll see who comes out true fan style, attacking or defending this movie.
Exactly.
Like, put up or shut up.
Exactly. I have seen a number of creators, which I was actually surprised by their reaction to this movie, but they were respectful in their video. You know, for example, Mike Hollow, he's made a video. He liked the movie. I have respect for him. I'm not complaining to him. And I even said it on his video that, hey, I have a completely opposite opinion from you. And he responded to me respectfully. So you know what? I can get on with that. But there's some assholes out there in their video, they say, if you don't like this movie, you never were a Mortal Kombat fan. You're not a Mortal Kombat fan if you don't like this movie. Fucking I dare you to say that to me. Look at my body of work.
Right? And here's the thing, I'm not going to say if you like this movie, you're not a real fan. I'm not going to flip the script on them. All I'm going to say is you just happen to like a dog shit movie.
Yeah.
We just need to agree that it's dog shit. I don't have a problem if you like a bad movie. There's plenty of bad movies I like. Just don't try to tell me they're good, because this movie ain't good.
Yeah. Your standards are low. If you like this movie, your standards are low. And that's okay. You can have low standards if you want. Not only are your standards low, but it seems that flashy effects and pretty lights, that's what seems to impress you. As soon as you see that, and a bit of comedy as well. Once comedy comes on, your brain turns off, and you're like, yep, this was a great movie. This was so funny. I loved it. 8 out of 10. I'm gonna break.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah. So this is my position. I think this movie is shit. I goddamn hate it. And don't get me started on Raiden. Fuck Raiden. I fucking hate him. And I want to prove this movie is a pile of shit, objectively. And that's why I've got Yagami here to help me out with that, because I'm not such a great speaker, but he is.
Look, Napper, it's funny because I have fire in my name, and like you said, I spit fire, but like you have, like, you're fiery when you get angry. I get like cold and clinical. We're like Scorpion and Sub-Zero, if you think about it.
Yeah, you're right about that. Even though I'm a fan of Sub-Zero, I'm probably more like Scorpion. The thing is, I get so filled up with passion and it's just hard to express that feeling with words, you know. And I just have to try and choose the best words I can, and sometimes I feel like it doesn't work. But the people who appreciate my videos and what I say, they understand. They get the message, even if I mess up the words. They understand what I mean.
It's like a primal scream. It's like charging up in Dragon Ball. It transcends languages. If you see someone doing it, you know what they're doing. That's like when people hear Napper getting angry. They just feel the power.
That's right. So, shall we get started breaking this piece of shit down one by one?
Yeah, I thought a good place to start is maybe our general impression and a score. If we were to score this movie, like on like a 1 to 10, I've heard a lot of people like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Give me your overall impression and the number you assign to it. But before you give me the number, give me a movie that you'd say is like an 8. That way you can calibrate your how you feel about movies. You know what I mean? That way people know where your mind is for scoring.
Okay, yeah, we can try that. Maybe my score will change at the end of this recording. It could turn into a more positive score. At the moment,
Napper, that would suggest you're fair about stuff and that we're going to give it a fair shot. But surely people that disagree with us will say that we're not going to be fair. How dare you be fair?
exactly. I don't want to hate Mortal Kombat. I don't want to hate what they do, but I can't fucking stomach it. I can't take what they do. It's just shit. I expect the best. Mortal Kombat's been around for 30 years, right? I want the best. When Mortal Kombat goes out there, it represents me as well. Like, the people around me, if I tell them I watch Mortal Kombat, they're gonna look at me and say, huh, what, are you gay? So, okay, an 8 out of 10 movie. Well, I might have to think about that, but I will say one thing. The Avengers, right? If you're a fan of the Avengers, you probably like these kinds of movies. I fucking hate the Avengers. They're fucking bullshit. I don't know why people are into the Avengers. It's goddamn shit. It sucks. Why? Why are you watching the Avengers? Are you gay? Because look, we have Rambo, we have the Terminator and all that stuff to go back to. Why the fuck are you watching the Avengers, looking at these skinny men and saying, yeah, this is acceptable, I like this. I want to be just like this guy. Like, he just looks like an ordinary office man, but he has superpowers. I'm inspired. Wow. No!
This is so perfect. This is so perfect for my part when we get to movies.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt, but...
No, it's fine. This is just without planning. This has just become so perfect. Go on.
I want to be Rambo. Like, I want muscles. I wanna look at Rambo and say, yeah, I wanna be just like that guy. I wanna run around in the forest. I wanna survive. I wanna light my own fires. When I get a cut, I wanna sew it back up myself. I'm a man. And hey, I'm gonna do what I can. What's that?
That's a perfect example. Would you say Rambo is like an 8 or a 9 for you?
Fucking 10 out of 10.
All right, maybe. We have our calibration.
Excellent. Yeah, I fucking love Rambo. He's sick. Ah, man. You're gonna have to take it away from me. I get a bit too emotional about these things. It's too good.
I'll try to rein you in.
It's too good.
So what's your score for 1 out of 10? Your fairest score for this movie, 1 out of 10.
Okay. I'm gonna be as fair as I can. Okay. Now, the movie wasn't the worst thing I ever seen, right? So I'll give it a 4 out of 10.
Wow. Okay, so we are super calibrated because I was also a 4 for this movie.
Wow. Okay. Great. I didn't even know that.
And the funny part is, you mentioned Avengers. Avengers was my 8. That was my choice for an 8.
Are you serious? You like Avengers?
Yeah.
What?
The first Avengers movie, yeah, I would give that. Like, I might go towards like 7.5, but if we're gonna go, I'd say it's like an 8.
Are you
for me.
gay?
Yep. My wife would be surprised if I was.
I can't believe
But,
it.
like,
This is something new.
Strong cast of characters, solid plot, some really good scenes, builds on what comes before it, works really well as a sequel, has thematics that go all the way through the movie, good action, good resolution, good special effects. Yeah, I find it a very competent, well-made movie. I put something also like A New Hope from Star Wars around like an 8, 8.5, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Just so people understand, like I can, my favorite movie does not need to be a 10 for me. I can still recognize there's personal preference there for me for a movie. Like I would recognize like Rambo, like the first Rambo movie, or like Rocky 1 and 2. Those are like 9 or 10 movies. Those are like almost perfect movies. And I know they're better movies than something like A New Hope. But for me, like, yeah, that's something I think is really awesome. So it's one of my favorites.
Well, this is
so
gonna
I
be...
try to be fair with that.
This is gonna be interesting. I did not realize you were into Avengers, so this is gonna be interesting.
Now, mind you, I think like Avengers Endgame is also like a 4. I think that movie's terrible. I think pretty much everything from the MCU after Infinity War has been completely awful.
Okay.
So that's where people can understand where I'm coming from.
Okay, so I guess I'm an extreme opinion, and Yagami can help to reel me in back to normalcy, however you say it.
And it's funny because it's apparently gonna pull us both towards a 4, and I think we're gonna be able to really get into some like just not even just Mortal Kombat problems, but just movie problems this movie has. Because I think the actual structure of this movie is terrible, and it's one of the reasons that it's ranked so low for me as a 4. I think the structure is bad, the plot is bad, the script is bad, the dialogue is bad, and the characters are mostly flat. So, like, even on a technical level, I don't think this movie is good. I could like a 4 and still claim I like it. Like, just because a movie is 4 doesn't mean I hate it. There are movies that are 4s that I really enjoy watching. There are movies that are lower than that I enjoy watching. Some that I even love. But this movie is one I dislike, and it's a badly made movie for a lot of reasons. I think we're going to have good opportunity to go into that.
I don't see how you can be more fair than how you've just described right now. Like, okay, I'll give everybody a point that maybe I am a bit unfair. Maybe I am a bit too nasty. But I gave it a 4 because I did like some things. I did. And I'm definitely going to mention them today. Hopefully I remember what they were. But yeah.
All right, so I think I have a basic outline for us where we can kind of go through the movie discussing events and characters in an almost chronological order for the movie. Not quite, but maybe close enough, and we can jump around as we go.
Okay.
So we get the opening with Adenia, and we have the invasion of Shao Kahn and him taking over. And the first thing I'm struck by in the movie is how small it feels. And this continues throughout the rest of the movie. I asked my buddy at one point, did they film Outworld in Diagon Alley in Universal Studios where they have the Harry Potter setup? Because this feels so fake and so small.
That's right. I was thinking the same thing about that set where Kitana fought with what's his name, man?
Johnny, right?
Johnny. Yeah. That set looks so fake and dumb, and it was like there was no life in that set. What the hell kind of stage is that?
It felt like a mini golf course or something. It felt so fake.
Yeah.
And I noticed that transfers over with a lot of the tone of the movie. So, like, we see Shao Kahn's invasion. It's basically just Shao Kahn showing up. Like, where is his grand army? Where is the grandeur and majesty and authority and power of Shao Kahn? Spoiler, it's nowhere in this movie. Shao Kahn is as lame in this movie as he is in NRS. games, especially in MK11 and MK1, and people claiming this is the best Shao Kahn ever, I'm sorry, you're out of your mind. You're just wrong. This is a guy that struggles in every single fight he's in and is never intimidating anybody. Can you imagine if when we are introduced to Darth Vader in A New Hope, he comes in and then struggles against the very first rebel that he encounters? It would be ridiculous.
I can
But
imagine.
Shao shows up and he nearly loses to Jared and gets messed up and has to struggle against them. He should have just murdered Jared to really establish how powerful Shao Kahn is and that you can't resist him.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like a direct contrast to the Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which some people love it, some people hate it. Love it or hate it, but Shao Kahn in there, he had a proper introduction from the beginning. The way he came in with all his warriors, and he's declaring that I'm taking over this space. Try and stop me. Come on. You know?
It's actually crazy how much we're on the same wavelength. Because, like, just so everyone knows, we did not discuss this stuff before coming onto the stream. But one of my notes is this movie has a lot in common with Mortal Kombat Annihilation, including how it's structured. Also, the weird thing is somehow that movie made Shao Kahn feel more intimidating. Because Shao Kahn doesn't take anything close to an L until the very end of the movie. Like, the first thing he does is embarrass Raiden with a blast of energy and break Johnny Cage's neck.
Yeah. He instantly has dominating authority from the beginning, and everyone's like, oh shit, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I think Annihilation is a worse movie than this movie objectively. Like, it's a worse movie. It's worse made, it's worse acted, it's worse shot, like everything about it's worse. I enjoy it probably a little bit more because it's so stupid, but it's a worse movie. But Shao Kahn is presented better.
You know, I can't disagree with you. As much as I want to say MK Annihilation is the best movie ever. I don't give a shit.
And I think that fundamental misunderstanding of Shao Kahn as just a powerful thug has become so prevalent in everything with Mortal Kombat recently.
Yeah.
Especially like the games and now this, where it's like, he's a big, strong guy with a hammer. And it's like, no, I'm sorry. Like, Darth Vader is not just a strong robot man with a lightsaber. He is an incredibly powerful figure with not only magical abilities, you know, he's got the Force, which it's magic, and you've got Shao Kahn, who's a dark wizard, and then he's also got an entire army behind him that's one of the most powerful forces in any dimension.
Yeah.
And none of that comes across. He's just a strong guy. And it's like, how is this guy in charge?
Yeah, exactly. In the games, he has an army of centaurs. Like, how the hell do you fight an army of centaurs? Like, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, and it's like we discussed in a previous video. He's got all the Tarkatans, who we will get into in this movie. In the games originally, they're all bulletproof and they'll like hack through people with no problem. Like, if you get invaded by 1 million Tarkatans, a lot of armies are going to struggle against that even in the modern day, because if they just swarm an area, they're like living buzzsaws. That's really scary.
Yeah.
And we get a Shao Kahn with none of that and with none of the authority. And I think the very first scene we get him in not only undermines that because of how the fight with Jared goes, but I really don't like the reaction from Kitana when she's little. And we're going to get into, I think, where we'll agree that Kitana is a uninteresting, flat, boring-ass character in this movie. She's really lame.
Yeah.
So we see Jared get murked. It's a very boring fight. I wasn't really engaged with it. I thought it was lame. Which, again, is a matter of taste. If people like the fight, that's on them. Whatever. It was whatever to me. It was boring. And we see Sindel, who is a nothing character in this movie. Totally wasted.
Exactly.
Totally wasted. One of the cooler characters in the old Midway days, where she's really powerful and she becomes good again after she's freed, and she has her reunion and she has a whole character arc and she becomes ruler of Edenia. That's cool. In this, she's nothing. Like, we're barely gonna have to talk about her because she's barely in the movie. But you have Jared die in front of Kitana, little baby Kitana, and Sindel, and immediately we can't have Kitana show any emotion other than fierce determination. That's the only emotion she's allowed in this movie. So she fearlessly walks up to Shao Kahn where her dad is dead and takes the ribbon from her dad. Like, why didn't you have a situation where she is terrified of this man now? He is a giant warlord that just stomped into her realm and murdered her father in front of her. And he should have done it effortlessly, so he's even scarier. And what if he took the ribbon from Jared and tied it around Kitana, like around her forehead, like the one she wears, and told her, "You're my daughter now." Like, he claimed her with that from Jared, and she's terrified of him. So you actually are setting up an arc of Kitana where she's been afraid of Shao Kahn, and she needs to overcome that with some character growth and realize she doesn't need to be afraid of this guy. She can help stand up to him.
Exactly. Her fierce determination from the beginning, it doesn't make sense at all. She, like, her dad's probably picked her up and thrown her around and, lived with her, and she's just a little kid. She hasn't seen much in life, and all of a sudden her world flips upside down. This is traumatizing, and you're not in control of your emotions in a situation like that. But she walks up to him like a badass, like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you one day." Instead of looking at her dad, he's in a pile of piss and shit and blood, and showing some reaction and emotion, like, "My dad, no!" Even Goku, when Krillin died, he showed reaction, emotion. When Johnny got killed, when he's in Annihilation, Sonya, she did her "Johnny, no!" They're not even related.
It's true though, and from an emotional standpoint for a story, it's such an easy win to, like, it's a little girl that's sad for her dad. Like, that'll immediately help you connect with her. And it's one of those things, like, because I know I've already seen it for other people, and I'm sure we'll get it at some point. So I'm going to cut it off here, even though it won't matter. We're still going to... It's going to be the, "Oh, you hate women, you don't want a women protag," and blah, blah. No. I am literally giving you the guidelines for how you can improve this character and make people care about your female protagonist. Show some vulnerability. Like, what would you think if you were watching Batman and you had the opening scene where Joe Chill walks out of the darkness in the alley and holds out a gun, and you got stoic little baby Bruce Wayne staring him down with dagger eyes, and then he guns down both Waynes, and fearlessly Bruce Wayne just walks up to the killer and goes down and takes out his dad's, I don't know, his wallet, because he inherits all of his money, and puts it in his pocket, and just stares down. No, you want to see Bruce Wayne upset as a little kid and sad, and the pain of losing his parents that then drives him to become Batman.
Yes, what a beautiful example. Well done. What a beautiful example. Perfection.
Like, you could set that up to like Kitana right off the bat like that, and give her an arc that people could remember, where you remember, hey man, at the beginning of this movie, where were we at? Scared little girl, terrified of Shao Kahn. At the end of this movie, where are we at? Powerful Kitana now, who's grown up under Shao Kahn's rule and is ready to help overthrow him and fight back against him for herself and her people in the memory of her dad. Okay, instead we've got fierce determination baby Kitana who wants to overthrow Shao Kahn and isn't afraid of him. And at the end of the movie, it's fierce determination adult Kitana who is not afraid of Shao Kahn and wants to overthrow him. Wow. Man, what a story.
I'm really glad you mentioned about the women protagonist thing as well. Like, we are not against women protagonists. There might be some older people in the audience who are listening. I used to watch Xena Warrior Princess when I was a kid, and I had no problem with that at all. I used to think, whoa, this is so cool. Like, she has that circular blade thing that she throws, and when she's about to kill
chakram.
People... The what?
It was a chakram. I learned that word from that show.
The chakram, cool. Okay. Yep. And she when she's about to head into battle, she does this thing, and it's cool. Like, I never ever once thought of Xena as, oh, it's a girl. This doesn't make sense. She shouldn't be doing that. She's a girl. She should be in the kitchen cooking food for Hercules.
Man, and it's funny you mentioned Xena, because we have an example right in Xena for those that remember. Gabrielle started as, she was very scared of the things Xena would run into, but by the end of the series, or even midway through the series, she was able to help her. She learned how to fight with a bow staff, and she could defend herself. She wasn't as tough as Xena, but you could see the growth she went through, and when she would get in trouble because she was scared, you would feel bad for her and hope for Xena to be able to help her and save her. But we never get that opportunity to connect with Kitana in this movie. We never see her vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so anybody who doesn't know Xena, you need to go have a look. She's great.
Yes, absolutely. Very good, fun show. Very campy in the best ways. It's by Sam Raimi, the guy that did the Spider-Man movies and Evil Dead and stuff, so it's super fun. And I think that is one of the biggest problems with Kitana. And speaking of invading Edenia, it feels like we're doing the thing from MK1 again, where Outworld just is Edenia, because everything we see from Edenia is also Outworld later on, it feels like. And then that creates the question, where was Shao Kahn coming from? What is Outworld before this? It's really unclear. It's like a minor nitpick, but it's just very confusing to me that they keep doing this. Like, Outworld's supposed to be massive, and Edenia is just a small part of it. I don't know, it's just weird to me.
No, you're right. I feel like Shao Kahn, he didn't have any introduction at all, really. It's just a big, brutal-looking guy coming in and fighting, and that's it. That's what he is. There's no... If somebody doesn't know Mortal Kombat and they go into this, who is Shao Kahn? What is he?
Yes. Yeah, what's his deal? He barely has any real character here. He doesn't have any real quiet moments. He's just a guy that kind of yells at stuff and fights. And it's like, okay, it's kind of lame. Speaking of kind of lame, though, can we talk about maybe the lamest guy in the whole movie? And, I can't believe more people aren't calling this out that are praising this movie. Is anyone going to defend Quan Chi in this movie? He looks terrible, and he's like a useless idiot the whole movie that has no purpose in it. He's suddenly here now. He was never mentioned in the first movie. He's just around. He looks awful. The makeup and special effects they use for him, he looks so goofy. And he just brings people back to life.
I'm glad you said that, because I've listened to reviewers who actually liked the way he looks and liked his makeup and everything and thought he looks great. And it's some people in mind I have. I'm not going to mention them because this is not what this video is. This is just about the movie. But yeah, those people like how Quan Chi looks, and everybody else, how they look as well. I think Shao Kahn's costume is shit. Yeah, fight me on that. I think his costume is shit. I hate his helmet, how it looks like it's like a pieces of machinery stuck together with red eyes in the middle. Like, it's supposed to be a bone, like a bony skull on his head, with a samurai thing at the back of his head. And Quan Chi looks crap too. In the games, he was his own person. In this movie, he looks like a servant, like he's just wandering around like a house servant, helping people out and making sure jobs get done. No, Quan Chi is his own person. And even to the point where Raiden had to go up to him to make a deal with him, like, can we do a trade?
To your point about Shao Kahn, the mask, why does it have a jaw that covers his whole mouth? Like, let us see him talk and emote a little bit, and we might have a better connection to the character. The full mask just doesn't work for me. It's too Darth Vader, actually. It's too impersonal, whereas I like Shao Kahn. Dude, in the games, he tells you suck. Like, that's so much personality. Yeah. And I like that more level of personality where you can see a bit of his face. It's still covered, obviously, by the skull part, but I think being able to see a little bit of his face is just better. I don't know. Again, it's personal preference.
Exactly.
But with Quan Chi, I was going to say, anyone saying this guy looks good as Quan Chi, I don't know if we can put it up during this, but if we don't, people just need to go and look it up. Look up, I'm going to make sure I get his name right. It's Adoni Meropis is the actor that plays Quan Chi in Mortal Kombat Conquest. He looks 1,000 times better as Quan Chi. Not only is the makeup, which is more basic, so it's not fancier, not only does that look better, but just the way he emotes and acts as Quan Chi. So much personality. He's so fun to see on screen. His costume's okay. It's obviously lower budget. There's some issues with it, but it's not like awful, especially for the time. But just like look at him and his face and the way he acts as Quan Chi and looks as Quan Chi.
Yes.
10 out of 10. Best Quan Chi ever. I've talked to the guy on his channel. He's a super nice guy, and his Quan Chi just rules. He's great. He's one of the best parts of Conquest, and Conquest is good, so that's high praise.
Yeah, like, man, he looks great. I'm looking at him right now. He looks perfect. Just like Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah, he's so good.
Quan Chi
and he's like a sarcastic bastard in it, too. He's so fun.
Man, I gotta watch Conquest. I gotta see it again.
So, like, instead we get this Quan Chi that barely says anything, and then he can apparently just resurrect people no matter what. So he brings back Kung Lao, but because Kung Lao was good, he has to make his soul evil, so he has to make him a revenant, which he has complete control over. But they bring back Kano, but don't make him a revenant, because his soul was already not evil enough. But that also means he still has free will, so he can betray all of them. Spoiler, he does. Great plan, morons. But on top of that, they only bring Kano back because they want to know where he put Shinnok's amulet, which we'll get into. And when he comes back, he tells them, oh, it's in my pocket where I put all the things I steal, and takes it out of his pocket. Outworld, my guys, you went through a dark ritual to resurrect someone from the dead instead of checking his pockets. But this movie's good, right? When you have characters this unbelievably stupid.
That's like if I'm looking for a file on my hard drive and it's in the USB stick, but I go and pull the computer apart to and stick all kinds of contraptions on it just to find my file, when all the time I could have just checked the USB first.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. Like, what are we doing here?
Is it supposed to be funny?
Well, I think it's just mechanical. It's a script mechanism where, well, we need Kano to come back to life because everyone liked Kano in the first movie, and he's the best part of the first movie because he's funny, and he is. All credit to Kano in both movies. He's funny in both, and the actor is very good, very likable. And they didn't want him to be a revenant because they want him to have his own personality instead of being a slave, and they need him to betray everyone. So we'll just do this. We'll say we needed to bring him back to do this. And that is why this kind of writing is bad and hurts movies, because when you're doing something because you need to do it for the script, it creates a bunch of problems because it's not happening because the characters want to do it and need to do it. You're doing it because you need to get somewhere in the script. Then you create situations where, well, if they had just checked his pocket, they didn't need to do any of this, which probably should have been the first thing they did, but they didn't because they're stupid now.
I'll give some benefit of the doubt that they tried to make it as a funny thing, and maybe it hit with some people, maybe it didn't hit with some people. So there's my piece of fairness.
Fair. And so speaking of Kano, that reminded me of something, because I went through the first movie, which I bet a bunch of people that watch this movie and are saying it's great didn't bother to do, because guess what? When you make a sequel, it kind of has to work as a sequel and make sense with the movie that came before it, and this one doesn't. So we're told in the first movie that when someone is killed, it takes their mark and gives it to the person that killed them, unless I guess they already have a dragon mark, and we're going to get into dragon marks later as well, because they're So at the end of the first movie, who died? Kano and Kung Lao. Okay. That's by my math, I'm doing all my counting here. That's 2 characters from Earth that died, which makes sense when they say at the end of Mortal Kombat 1 that they need to go recruit new warriors. That's what Raiden says.
Yeah.
Then in this movie, they recruit Johnny Cage and nobody. So we're replacing Kano with Johnny Cage, or Kung Lao with Johnny Cage. Oh, what about the other person?
Well, the other person decides to declare themselves at the end of the movie that they're fighting for Earthrealm now.
Whoa, isn't that convenient? It's almost like they read the script. That's crazy.
God.
Wow. Man, that would really suck if this completely made no sense with what was established in the previous movie and what even they say in this movie where they need replacements. You only replaced one person, Raiden. Are you stupid?
This guy, Raiden. Okay, I'm gonna stay quiet because when it gets to Raiden...
We'll get to Raiden. Believe you me, we will get to this bad Raiden.
Yes, please.
So, already we've got a point where this doesn't make sense with the previous movie. But as said, they go and they recruit Johnny Cage. Hey, Johnny Cage is... Wait, let me recalibrate my script from Luke Skywalker. He is a disillusioned and broken down older man who is past his prime and is no longer as cool as he used to be. He doesn't feel he has anything to offer anymore and is disillusioned with life in general. He does not want to go help the people that need help, even though he'd be capable of doing it, and has to be convinced to go do anything at all. Wow, man, great. I haven't seen this storyline before with everyone we say is a fan favorite that we're going to bring back. Good job, guys. I'm definitely not really over this. I definitely didn't want The Miz as a vivacious, funny, eager to go fight Johnny Cage. No, give me Carl Urban, who I love, by the way. He's a great actor. As old, washed-up Johnny Cage who doesn't even want to be here. Yeah, man, cool, awesome, great. Nothing to prove. Johnny Cage doesn't want to prove that he's a great fighter and prove that he doesn't use special effects, that he's just that good. No. He hates this all. This is dumb. I don't want to be here. I don't want to fight. Like, okay, awesome, guys, cool.
Why would you change Johnny Cage from a perfectly good biography, what he had before, into a washed-up old man who's just trying to be cool? Why would you do that when the previous Johnny Cage, it's a perfectly fine story, it's a good story where he's a martial arts stunt actor, but all his moves are real, but people doubt in him that he's a real martial artist. So he joins Mortal Kombat. He's chosen as well, obviously, to prove that, my moves are real, my stunts are real, whatever I do, it's real, I'm the real deal, I'm actually Johnny Cage.
And it's funny because we have an example in an adaptation, and I'm not even going to use the first Mortal Kombat movie, because a lot of people just go to that movie as, it's great, we all love it, whatever. Yeah, it's a really fun movie. I won't even use that. We can go to Scorpion's Revenge, where they have Johnny Cage as this really cocky asshole that thinks he's the best at everything, but doesn't really want to fight to die, which makes sense for a character that they don't want to fight to die. But when the chips are down, he just starts thrashing everyone, and Sonya looks at him and goes, Johnny Cage kicks ass. Yeah, Johnny Cage kicks ass. But he has to get there by actually finding something to fight for, by defending his friends, when he previously didn't have any friends because he was a cocky guy that didn't think he needed anyone and was better than everyone. So you still have an arc. There's still an opportunity for character growth through that character archetype. But it's not the played out, Johnny needs to get his groove back because he sucks. Like, oh my God, I'm so bored of that.
When you read the new biography of Johnny Cage, I almost yawned. That's how boring it was. Like, this doesn't get my juices flowing. Like, I want to be excited. And they marketed this boring guy. Well, I like Carl Urban, but they marketed this boring guy as the hero of the movie. They did the trailers as Johnny Cage as the hero, the next hero we're looking for, and it's this boring fucker.
Yeah, this bum that loses his very first fight in the tournament and is eliminated.
What happened, man? What? Why change it? Why not just have the young, cocky Johnny Cage? What? Mortal Kombat's supposed to be about, like, young people fighting. What? Why?
And now compare, because now we will compare the first movie and this movie. In the first movie, Johnny Cage pulls a split punch to punch Goro in the balls. In this movie, he is running away from Kitana like a little baby until he's left on the ground in the fetal position, and she just lets him live.
Yeah, I did not even think of that. Well, nice one. Nice for bringing that up.
It's just so crazy because, and again, that gets into the Kitana problem. Kitana fights against Jade. Jade, at least in regular Mortal Kombat in the canon, especially if we're talking Midway, very strong. She's tougher than Kitana. That's why she's Kitana's bodyguard.
Yeah.
But what happens in this one? She has a weapon. Kitana doesn't have a weapon by the midpoint of the fight, and then Kitana uses her hair ribbon to win anyway. Okay, so we had Kitana not afraid of Shao Kahn, training with her bodyguard who's supposed to be protecting her and watching over her. Oh, no, she beats her too. Then in the first match where we get Johnny Cage, where Johnny Cage is forced to fight, nope, she beats Johnny Cage too. Man, I wonder if she's going to keep winning. Spoilers, she does.
It's so bullshit. Like, she's no Xeno warrior princess because she's just not. She's just not. I'm not accepting her as Xeno warrior princess. No.
So we get this Johnny Cage that's washed up, and we barely have to talk about Johnny Cage because, as you said, contrary to the trailers, he's not even really important in this movie. He's barely important.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't do much. He has some dumb stuff he does, and that's about it, which we'll get into. And then it has contradictions with stuff again, because we get told in the first movie, which is being ignored, the word Arcana does not appear in this movie, even though it's super important in the first movie. But everyone didn't like Arcanas, so let's just pretend it didn't happen, and we won't use that term again, because we're cowards when it comes to writing our movies, and we want to make a sequel, but we don't want to deal with the super important stuff we introduced in the sequel. Too bad. You have to. Just do it good. Just do it well and do a good job, and people might like it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
No.
Exactly. Just like how Cole Young was gotten rid of just straight away. At least, do it in a proper way.
We'll get to that too. That's definitely in my notes. And I'm going to take a stance that I think people might not like, and I think you will. So we've got the Arcana and the birthmarks, because the birthmarks, the dragon mark that they have in the first movie, marks people with Arcanas that can awaken them for powers. Does Johnny Cage have a dragon birthmark he's just never mentioned, never shown, and we're never told about in the movie? Because that wouldn't make sense, because we were told everyone with those birthmarks was gathered already. And if someone died, it would go to a new person. Johnny Cage doesn't have one in this movie, but he still develops powers, and he's still marked as one of Earthrealm's champions. How? Because that's not congruous with your first movie. You are conflicting with your first movie again.
But this is why I brought Yagami to the table, man. He knows stuff. He can connect dots which we don't even think of. Look, he's presenting it to you now. Where is Johnny Cage's dragon mark? Where's his Arcana?
Right? If you introduce this stuff, you need to use it. You guys, I didn't make you do this in the first movie. You chose to do this.
This is bullshit, man. This is such a stupid movie. It doesn't even make sense.
Now, I also seem to remember a prophecy in the first movie where the blood of Hanzo Hasashi will unite Earthrealm warriors to prevent the invasion of Earthrealm in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah? Well, who is that?
That doesn't happen.
Wow. That's a false prophet, whoever prophesied that one.
And we know why it was. It was because they were setting up to have Cole be the winner of the next Mortal Kombat movie in the tournament, but everyone disliked Cole and him coming out of nowhere, which, surprise, surprise, anyone could have told you that when you were writing the script if you bothered to talk to any Mortal Kombat fans.
Yeah.
But you've made the prophecy. You've made the character of Cole Young. You've released the movie. You're making a sequel. I'm sorry, you don't just get to go, that doesn't matter anymore. No, you need to nut up. You need to write it.
By this point, I'm thinking they should have just, as they always do with the games, just wipe the slate and start again.
You know what? That probably would have been easier and better for them, but I'm sick of giving them the out on this stuff with their multiverse stuff and their reboots and stuff. No, just write better. Just do a better job writing from the movie you made so that I, the guy that didn't write your movie, don't notice all of these problems. Because guess what? You didn't even keep up with the last thing of your first movie. was going to recruit Johnny Cage in Los Angeles? Oh, it was Cole Young. Who does not even appear to recruit Johnny Cage in this movie? Yeah, Cole's not there. It's Sonya and Raiden.
You're right. We should not be giving them an out for any of this stuff. They're supposed to be professionals. They're supposed to be researching the games and looking how is everything working, and be authentic to how the games were. Now, I understand the film is supposed to be its separate thing. It's not going to be exactly like the games. Well, my question is, why not? Why can't it be just like the game? Why can't it just follow the story of the game? Of course, if two people are fighting each other and one of them breaks the other one's bones, in the film it doesn't make sense for them to stand back up on the broken bone. That much is what makes sense. But the story, they can follow the story easily. Why does Shao Kahn look like the Terminator? It does not make sense to me.
And it's funny because you're mentioning preferring them to be in keeping with the games, which I would also prefer, but I won't demand it. I understand if they're going to adapt stuff. Like, I love Batman 89, the Tim Burton movie. I love that movie. I think it's incredible. But it changes a lot of stuff from the comics, and that can be okay if it's done well, which I think it is.
If it's done well, yeah.
But if you're going to make a sequel, you don't need to be in keeping with everything from the games, but you need to make sense with your previous movie, my man. You need to make sense with the previous movie.
Yeah, you do. Like, if you can get Kitana to just suddenly say, oh, I'm fighting for Earthrealm now, you can get somebody to come down from the heavens and say, the rules have changed, we're not looking for dragon marks anymore.
Yes. Okay, Napper, at the beginning of the movie, you have Raiden, when he's talking to Johnny Cage, Johnny Cage asks how they know it's him, and Raiden can even say, well, it doesn't need to be you. It could be anyone, but we think you're the best. Before, we had people that were chosen for this with these marks or whatever.
Yeah.
But because of the invasion of Outworld from the previous movie, the Elder Gods have decided that this was a breach of the spirit of the tournament, and now they're letting us recruit anyone, and I can empower anyone as a champion, and I've chosen you, Johnny Cage.
Wow, you
Done.
make perfect sense. Exactly, that's how it should be done. Why are we basic, normal, average people teaching these guys how to do their job?
And the best part is, you can even set something up with that with Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung, where Shao Kahn is like, sorcerer, you told me this plan to eliminate their champions would improve our odds in Mortal Kombat, and now they can find any champions they want and get them here. You failed me. Now I need to go to someone that has another plan, and then he goes to Quan Chi, and now you've got Shang Tsung worried, oh, I might be on the outs with Shao Kahn. It might be time to stab him in the back, and you can set something up for later on.
Yes, sir. Look how simple it is to come up with ideas when you just spend 5 minutes thinking about them. But these guys didn't spend 5 minutes thinking about them. They were too busy trying to make Kitana look like a badass.
And it's funny because the Kitana thing is a perfect example of, like, we're going to switch out Cole Young and we're going to switch in Kitana as our main character, even though she's not a main character because this movie has no main character because the structure is terrible. But we're going to swap in Kitana without considering what this means with Kitana. And what I mean by that is Kitana's motivation is set at the beginning of the movie when her father is killed by Shao Kahn. Okay, that makes sense. But it's not congruous with what we know from the previous movies and what's established in the setting.
Yeah.
So in the games, and in the previous even Mortal Kombat adaptation with the first movie of, back in the 90s, Kitana serves Outworld, but she is not loyal because of, obviously, Shao Kahn killed her dad. In some continuities, she was brainwashed by Shao Kahn and controlled. But the big difference is she sees Liu Kang, who is the first person to ever stop anything Shao Kahn has ever done. And after all of these years, it makes Kitana go, this guy can win. Oh my God, this could be it. We can stop Shao Kahn here. And that is the motivation for her to change allegiance. Now, however, we've got a Kitana who sat on her hands for 9 previous Earthrealm tournaments where their odds weren't any better. And now she wants to do something. Why? You know they're getting this amulet that's going to make Shao Kahn even more powerful. Why didn't you do something earlier? Shao Kahn's not even that tough. Spoiler, you beat his ass later.
I like the way you described the what you said before about how Kitana sees Liu Kang and stuff. That's just perfectly authentic Mortal Kombat, and it's beautiful.
It follows a chain of events where you can understand the character's motivations. And yes, you could say, well, she did it now because they were able to stop Shao Kahn's plan with Shang Tsung in the previous movie outside the rules of Mortal Kombat. Sure. Okay. That changed so much for Kitana that it's not referenced like that, and she wasn't shown in the first movie to even experience that and have her mind change during it. Yeah, that's way better than her facing off against Liu Kang beating her in the fight and her being like, okay, kill me. And Liu Kang, no, I don't need to kill you. Why would I do that? And she realizes, wow, this guy is not only powerful, he has a good and kind heart. This is the kind of person that can beat Shao Kahn and should beat Shao Kahn. There's a chance here. There's a reason for me to change my allegiances now because I have hope. That's basic good storytelling.
I love it. I love it. This is beautiful. This is what I want to see. God damn it.
And then you create connections between characters. It's so easy.
Yeah, what's even the point of Liu Kang in this movie? What's the point of him?
Great question. Awesome question. And the worst part is, like, the guy they've got for Liu Kang looks the part, he can fight the part, he can act the part. Like, and we know Liu Kang can be awesome because Liu Kang in the first 90s movie is awesome. He's a really good main character.
Yeah.
So, like, what are we doing? Why are we giving up on our main guy? And then we see, like, you know, let's talk about Liu. You brought up Liu, let's talk about Liu, because we can go through him real fast. In this movie, he throws some fire around. He beats Shao Kahn's ass, because everyone beats Shao Kahn's ass, but then can't kill him because he's immortal. So then he gets stabbed, and then he's like Poochie from Simpsons and goes, I have to go back to my home planet, and just turns into fire and leaves the rest of the movie and is never seen again. Where did he go? What happened to him? Is he going into a Shaolin Monk spinoff that's never going to happen? Probably. I don't know. Who cares? He's not the main character. It doesn't matter.
Hey, I noticed that you mentioned that Shao Kahn was immortal. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought this movie was called Mortal Kombat.
Napper, I have written down here. Let me find it. What? Okay, this is exactly what I have written down. I'm going to read this. Cole actually done dirty in this movie. And we'll get to poor Cole Young. He would have won immediately, and Shao Kahn, who isn't even saved for the final fight of the tournament, would have lost in round 1 if not for lame cheating. Mortal Kombat with Shao allowed to be immortal for it. Good job, Elder Gods.
Gosh. Yeah, I can really see how this movie is all over the place. How the fuck are people looking at it and saying this is a great movie? You don't have brains. That you don't have the cognitive what's the word? What's the damn word? Comprehension. You can't comprehend what a good movie is because you're fucking amazing.
And it's funny because even the Mortal Kombat 9 story pays something off with that, where Shao Kahn cheats and he's able to cheat all the way up until it bites him in the ass with the Elder Gods, and they're like, nope, you're done.
Yeah.
And then Raiden is able to destroy Shao Kahn, and it's like, okay, well, the Elder Gods let a lot happen because it's not their place to stop the other stuff, but when Shao Kahn broke the final rule of merging the realms when he's not supposed to, they're like, nope, not happening. But in this, he's allowed to just be immortal in a death tournament, and the Elder Gods are just nowhere to be found. So yeah, he can just cheat, whatever. He can just be unbeatable in this situation, I guess. Oh yeah, whatever, that's fine.
Exactly. If he had been immortal and he actually accomplished his goal, would he just be conquering Earthrealm and Edenia while being immortal?
Yeah, would it mean now that the Elder Gods expect you to have to go do a guerrilla mission to destroy this amulet to actually make Shao Kahn mortal so that their entire tournament isn't a joke, what's even the point of the Mortal Kombat tournament then? Just say he wins. If you're letting an immortal guy fight in your death tournament, just say he wins.
It's so stupid. Nobody thought about this. What to make? Yeah. What? So instead of making Shao Kahn good, they decided we want everyone else to look good. So let's just make him immortal. This will cover this loophole. Well, no, it fucking didn't.
Yeah, that way Shao Kahn can still keep losing in the movie and looking like a chump, but he just doesn't die.
It's so gay.
It's really bad, and it's really undermining your main character. Again, imagine if Darth Vader kept losing repeatedly at every single thing, but he said, well, actually, though, my armor makes me immortal through the Force, so even though I'm getting my ass whooped, I just won't die and I'll keep coming back. It would be so lame. He seems like such a loser.
I guess this is why Liu Kang disappeared. He probably realized, you know what, this is gay. This is shit.
He's like, peace out. Yeah, peace out. I'm leaving the movie,
done.
guys. Bye. I'm done.
I can see this for what it is. Fuck this. I'm out.
So, and that immortality comes from my biggest problem with the movie on a structural level. Because we've talked about how presenting stuff to make it happen can make characters look bad or make them look stupid. And that's exactly what this movie does in a way, and we're going to get into now the person you probably hate the most, which I think is also one of the worst characters in the movie, especially because of this. Everyone needs to realize this movie existing with its plot and with Shao Kahn's plan entirely hinges on Raiden being so stupid, so incompetent, and so irresponsible that he leaves Shinnok's actual amulet unguarded, unprotected, not even with a glass dome on it, in the middle of his temple where Kano can just walk in and grab it and he doesn't even notice it's missing. And then they can take that amulet by retrieving Kano's body, which Raiden also didn't care about, and then get Shinnok's amulet from him. This movie can only exist because Raiden, the thunder god of Earthrealm and its premier protector, is a complete buffoon. Tell me this movie is good.
Oh my god. You know, my own artifacts and my own special, keepsakes which I like to protect, I put them away because I don't want anything to happen to them. Like, I have a Legend of Zelda ocarina, the actual ocarina, and I can play it. It's an actual real ocarina, and it's blue, just like in Zelda. I don't want it to smash to pieces, so I've put it in a box with foam around it, and it's away in my drawer. So nobody can just go up to it, pick it up, and start playing it, and it drops on the ground. But Raiden must have thought, oh, Shinnok's amulet is immortal. Nothing's gonna happen to it, so we'll just stick it on the shelf.
It's unbelievable. It's genuine. Imagine if, because a lot of the people that like this movie probably like the MCU, like you accurately pointed out, because I see a lot of the worst aspects of the MCU of the last decade in this movie, including it's okay because it's funny. Like, I see a lot of that in this movie because guess what? The amulet getting stolen in the first movie was it was a visual gag. It was a joke. You could have, I'm pretty sure in an interview or behind one of the behind the scenes things, they mentioned that, oh yeah, don't worry, it's a fake amulet. Because obviously he wouldn't have the real amulet out. I'm pretty sure they said it was a fake amulet in one of the interviews.
Really?
Which would have been perfectly, if you told me, yeah, he has a fake amulet out to trick people. Like, okay, yeah, I'll believe that. That's fine. That's fine as a joke, whatever. Because, they don't tell you this thing is important in the movie. Only fans would know what Shinnok's amulet is. But now in this movie, you've made it the most important thing ever that makes fighters immortal. Hey, by the way, Raiden, if you can make your fighters fucking immortal and all it takes is your own energy that you can already use, why the fuck don't you make your fighters immortal? It's apparently not cheating, you moron.
Raiden doesn't want to protect the Earthrealm anymore.
Oh my god. It's so ridiculous. And they do all of this stuff to set up this movie with that, and then it turns into the big MacGuffin everyone wants to get in this movie, and it all hinges on this plot point That's completely unbelievable. I can't believe Raiden would do this unless you're telling me he's the stupidest person in the world.
He's the stupidest person
And we
in
can
the
just
world.
get into this Raiden, because this Raiden is incompetent. He
Let's
totally
do it.
let people invade in the last movie, in the first one. In this movie, he's let the thing get stolen from the last one when it was the most important thing ever. He stands around like a goober when Kung Lao gets brought back, because apparently he just let them have Kung Lao and Kano's body, because, whatever, guys. To the victor goes the spoils, I guess. And then Sony's like, wait, didn't I kill Kano? Can't I keep his body? And Raiden's like, shut up, bitch. So we have this Raiden who then gets one shot by Kung Lao. Man, yeah, what a thunder god. You're everyone praising Raiden. You're right. What an uber Chad Raiden is in this movie, where he gets completely one shot because he's the biggest idiot in the world, as we've already established. Dude might as well have been stuffed into the back of the Energizer Bunny for half the film, because that's all he does is, I'm a power source for the amulet. Because God forbid Outworld have any dark magic they can use to power something. Just tell me Shao Kahn got 1,000 Tarkatans that he hooked up to kill. Whatever. Like, no, we need Raiden, because Outworld doesn't have any of its gods. And Shao Kahn, that Shao Kahn guy, he's definitely not as powerful as a god. Ignore all of the years of the Midway storylines where he's stronger than Raiden. Whatever, I guess.
Correct me.
But then we have this 5'0" Raiden who, and look, I'm sure he's a fine actor, but like, he has a very strong accent, and like, I'm not going to make fun of his accent or anything. Like, and I grew up around a very Portuguese family with a very strong Portuguese accent, and I know a bunch of my friends would often have no idea what they were saying. I was just used to it. So like, I had trouble understanding this guy, but even if I could, like, I'm sorry, dude, for the role of Raiden, you have no presence. As the kids say, you don't have aura. I don't care how many lightning bolt effects they add to him in the end of the movie to pretend that he's a badass. He's this little guy who says nothing, he says nothing really wise. He doesn't show any real power in the movie. He makes every stupid decision. He gets his throat slit, and he gets turned into a battery in a smoke detector for the whole film. Really? This is our Raiden? This is our high benchmark. This is the one we're going to compare Christopher Lambert and, was it Jeffrey Meek from Conquest? The two Uber Raidens, too, that are super cool. Dude, the animated Raiden, voiced by the man Clancy Brown in the Saturday morning cartoon for Mortal Kombat, was cooler than this guy by far.
Yes, and look at Raiden from Deadly Alliance from the intro. Yeah, he's narrating the intro, and then at the end he's like, "We must act now. We must stop this deadly alliance." Where's that Raiden? Why is Raiden aging? Why does he look like an old man despite being played by a young actor? Why is Raiden talking in an accent? Why is Raiden so small? Why is he so pathetic? Why is he so weak? Why is it that Kung Lao, he has his hat, which hardly harms anyone in the movie, but it slits Raiden's throat open, and he's like gasping for air, like, somebody save me.
It's actually crazy. And it's funny because a lot of people have latched onto the Asian Raiden thing, where, a lot of people are, you're just angry because he's Asian. And I'm like, I'm not upset that he's Asian. I don't care what race Raiden is. He's a thunder god.
Yeah.
Like, he could be whatever. But, and I actually sent this in Napper's server as an example.
Yeah.
It just matters what kind of Asian guy he is. If you wanted to make Raiden authoritative and cool, like, I sent, I showed off two wrestlers I'm familiar with. Minoru Suzuki in his younger days when he was like, in his 20s or 30s, where he looked like a killer. Or there's a guy, Konosuke Takeshita now. Both wrestlers, and I'm not saying, this is not fan casting. This is not me saying they should have played Raiden, because I don't know if they can act. This isn't some goober saying, cast my favorite wrestler. I'm just saying, as an example, they are big, imposing guys that have a lot of presence, that seem like they would be able to act with authority, that can scowl at someone and make me worry, like, oh man, this guy's going to mess someone up.
Yes.
So, like, you need to cast him like that. When Christopher Lambert as Raiden goes, and he blasts Scorpion and Sub-Zero, yes, the special effects are cheesy. Yes, it's in a cheesy movie that's just meant to be fun, and it is. but it feels legitimate because Christopher Lambert is an actor that has a little thing we call gravitas. And that is what this Raiden lacks. This Raiden is lost in the crowd. When you see all of the people gathered together in the first Mortal Kombat movie, you go, that guy's special. He's got the white hair. He's got this like immaculate white outfit. It's Christopher Lambert. Look at the way he's holding himself. He looks so cool and like this is all easy. He's got his like little quips and jokes.
Yeah.
This guy's got none of that. No presence, no aura, no gravitas, no nothing. He's just a little guy in the straw hat standing in the background that occasionally completely fucks up. Yeah, man, that hashtag my Raiden. That's the guy I want.
His best joke is he's holding some bird seeds in his hand, and Johnny Cage is like, is that some kind of special power for me? And he puts it down on the fence and goes, no, it's bird seeds. And nobody laughed in the cinema, but they probably would have laughed if people even came to watch the movie. Nobody watched the movie. Nobody watched it where I live. Nobody was there. On day 1, it was just 8 people in the cinema, and on day 2, it was just 4 people, and I stopped counting after that. Look, you talked about Christopher Lambert. I call him Lambert. Imagine if he were in this modern Raiden's place, and he was in the car park trying to recruit Johnny Cage. Imagine the things he would say. Modern men and women defending your world, you know? And then when Johnny Cage looks at him, he might smile. You know, he shows a sense of confidence, a smile, and a glint of, lightning from his eyes. So Johnny Cage might see that and think, whoa, this is not a normal person. Yeah, but this Raiden, to show that to show that he's real and he's not just some Halloween costume dress guy, he had to blast all his thunder power into the car park. And then Johnny Cage is like, he's turning back slowly. In real life, if somebody's blasting all that thunder, you'd be a quick reaction like, whoa, what is that? What's going on here? Okay, I believe you. You know? But Christopher Lambert doesn't have to do that. He just has to... He could have like challenged Johnny Cage to a fight and just drop him on the floor with, you know what he did to Liu Kang? He whooped Liu Kang's ass, dropped him on the ground, and embarrassed him. And Liu Kang ended up following him.
He could have, grab him with one hand and pick him up or something, and like make it clear you're obviously superhuman. Like there's so many things. But even if we wanted to keep it like their scene, like you said, as soon as you said imagine him in that scene, I immediately did. And it immediately brought to mind like a scene where, you know, Johnny Cage is like, oh, you're full of shit, like about the whole Mortal Kombat thing, and starts going back in his car. And then you have Raiden open up the portal. And if it's Christopher Lambert, I can already see the scene where Johnny Cage looks back and is like just in shock at what he's seeing. Yeah. And then you have Christopher Lambert looks to him and is like, yeah, so am I still full of shit? And give him a little bit and give him a little wink, that little Raiden wink that he liked in the first movie, that kind of like, heh.
Yeah,
that little snarky attitude that he had where he's like, yeah, what's up now?
Yeah, exactly. I remember a part where the Christopher Lambert guy, when he said something funny and then he laughed like, and nobody laughed and he was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You know,
a little bit of personality for him.
Yeah, it could have Johnny Cage struggling to start his car and Raiden's like just flick a bit of electric at it. And that way you could advertise electric cars too. You could have got a sponsorship from Tesla or something. You could have started the car with
some my God, dude. Imagine doing that where Johnny's so down on his luck. He's like at his car and he's even like, I need to go. I don't have time for this bullshit with you guys about some magic tournament. This is so stupid. I have 2 more cons to go to. I'm barely getting by, and my goddamn electric car is out of charge because I can't afford to even charge it up. Leave me alone. And Raiden's like, boom, and charge it up back to 100. And then Johnny is like, okay, whoa. What? Like, you could do something like that really easily. And it would feed into reinforcing Johnny Cage being at this low point in his career where, you know, maybe... oh, everyone said I'm a fraud and that it's all special effects and, you know, there's no way for me to prove it without seriously hurting someone or whatever. Or even if they want to keep it the way it is in this movie where he's at a low point in his life, maybe he didn't have enough money to charge his car. Then that would be a thing where people can understand like, oh man, he can't even afford gas or afford to charge his car. That's how down on his luck is. And this guy used to be like a multimillionaire. All right, I understand that now. I understand how low he is. And then you got Raiden showing off a little bit, charging it back up with his lightning, which then feeds into proving that Johnny Cage that he's real instead of just I'm going to open a portal, which is, you have more. Again, it's just a little bit more of a connection to the through line for the stuff you're setting up.
Yeah, and it could build some trust with Raiden too. So when he does enter the portal, he could probably trust Raiden a bit and say, you know what, I'm with you, instead of turning back and saying, no, I don't want any part of this bullshit. Send me home. I don't want anything to do with this. I'm not a hero.
Like, yeah, you could have him ask, like, so is this really like a legit second chance? And have Raiden say something ominous like, it's everyone's last chance.
Yeah, exactly, man. Look, we think of these ideas in just 5 seconds. 5 seconds of thought. Why can't they do the same? Ah! I can't take it.
This is why I feel like a lot of times these scripts that we get out of Hollywood nowadays are their first drafts. They don't go back and examine the stuff and rethink about it. Because with a little back and forth just between you and I, like, it's clear what they've written is not unworkable, except maybe the amulet thing with Kano. That's probably unworkable. You can't do that. But, like, the scenes and stuff and the dynamics for these scenes are not totally unworkable. You just need to put a little more thought and effort into them.
Yes. And if you don't want to do that, just make it exactly like the games. Just make the same storyline as the game. Don't deviate from it. I'm watching that new Kenshiro anime, the CGI one, and I'm watching it and thinking, this is exactly like the old animation I watched. And if anyone thinks, oh, Nappa, you're boring, you just want to watch the same thing over again, it's authentic. It's perfectly authentic. This is what the guy who wrote the story, was it Tetsuo Hara or was it somebody else?
Hara is the artist. The writer is Bronson.
Bronson, that's the guy. Yeah, it's his vision exactly, just with a new animation style. That's what we want. I want Mortal Kombat as it's supposed to be. If you can't be bothered to think and put things properly and make a proper movie, stop it. Go back to the games and just copy them. I will love that.
And you know what it tells me when we get scripts this bad? A lot of people like to chalk this up to, well, it's Hollywood. This writer doesn't really care about Mortal Kombat. And there's two things I always push back on that. One, in a lot of these cases, we see some of these people do love this stuff that they're writing, so you can't even always say it's that. And two, the thing they don't actually love is the craft of writing. Writing is a craft. It's like anything else. Measure twice, cut once. You need to go back and double check your work and make sure you're doing a good job. You are not shitting ice cream. You need to go back and make sure what you did is right and make sure it makes sense and that's the best it can be. Especially when it's a multi-million-dollar picture. Like, come on.
Exactly. And, like, you could have me. If it was a great movie, I would have gone back to watch it 2 or 3 more times in the cinema. You would have had my money 2 or 3 times. But no, I'm not going to go back.
I saw the Batman twice. Yeah, when the Batman came out, the new movie, I saw it twice. I thought it was very good. I saw it once with a buddy, and then I went once with my wife and a small group of friends. I'm like, we all got to see this movie. It's very good.
Yeah, there's some movies which are on Netflix which I really connected with, and nobody necessarily knows them. One of them's called Prisoner, and it's played by Hugh Jackman. And another one is called Caliber. It's about 2 guys who go from England. They go hunting in Scotland, and somehow they end up killing a child. And somebody pops the their car tire, and they have to spend the whole movie in a thrill of they're trying their best to act normal and not get caught, but the situations in the movie keep leading them more forward and more forward to getting caught until they eventually the villagers notice that, oh, the kid's missing, his dad's missing, we have to go find him, can you guys help out? They can't say no, they have to help out. So they literally go and find the bodies, and then once it's found out, oh, it was these guys, then they're on the run. A great movie. I watch it again and again and again and again and again. It's about the story. It's about doing things right. It's about atmosphere, it's about sound, it's about acting, the characters, everything. You can't just make some video game movie and say, yeah, they got the characters in there, they're fighting, yeah, this is what Mortal Kombat is, so it's good enough. No.
That is one of my biggest problems too with some people that have coped their way through this movie, and it's the number one thing I hate because they do the same thing with comic book movies and several other kinds of movies where you get the inevitable, well, it's Mortal Kombat, who cares about the story anyways, it's a good movie for what it is. Shut the fuck up. I'm a Mortal Kombat fan because I like the story. The story has good characters, it's fun. It's not highbrow. It's not Moby Dick. It's not some classic. But don't tell me, oh, I love this thing because it's garbage. No, then you don't love it. You just want to say this movie has flashing lights that you like and some action scenes. But you apparently don't give a damn about Mortal Kombat because you're just willing to throw Mortal Kombat under the bus and say it's always been bad when I point out that your movie is bad.
Yes.
No, not fair.
Exactly. I'm sorry to say, but the reviewers who like this movie, I feel like you have forgotten what Mortal Kombat was. The reviewers who liked this movie, I think you've forgotten it. Mortal Kombat's a story where somebody's trying to take over Earthrealm. Yeah, I have to narrate it back to you because you forgot. Mortal Kombat's a story. I'm not talking to you, Yagami. I'm talking to the reviewers.
Yep.
Where, look, Earth is being oppressed. Like, these guys, these nasty guys from other realms, they want to take it over. So I think it was Raiden who went and appealed to the Elder Dogs and said, you know what, we need to do something about this. They can't just keep coming and trying to take over. So the Elder Dogs made up this Mortal Kombat tournament, and Raiden's like, yes, this will work. So Raiden's job is to look for champions. But actually, it's not. The champions thing is in the NRS era. He's looking for warriors, combatants. That's what it is. So he gathers up some combatants to fight in the Mortal Kombat tournament that happens every 50 years, I believe. And so the men and women, the best of Earthrealm, have a chance to defend Earthrealm and show that, yeah, this is a realm that is worthy of living. You know, I feel like I'm narrating the story to the Tournament of Power from Dragon Ball Super, actually.
Well, it's a very archetypical story, just in a very large context of, like, this realm. But, I mean, the structure of it is a tale as old as time. You have tournaments with knights, you have tournaments with samurai. This is a very old kind of story that's very basic. But in being basic, it's very easy to understand and it's very appealing. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And the stakes are really high because this is Earthrealm's last chance. What Raiden must be thinking, like, I really need to find the right warrior. And he sees the spark in Liu Kang and he's like, whoa, this is the guy. Yes, we found him. This is the guy. And then you see Liu Kang. Imagine this beast Liu Kang walking into a Mortal Kombat fight and he does his fire kicks and he's like, "Wata!" and he breaks people's jaws. He has some presence about him, and everyone looks at Liu Kang's skill like, whoa, that was hardcore. Imagine if we saw that on screen. Imagine he fights Goro, and Goro is this, massive, imposing dominance. Like, what the hell? How can an Earthrealmer fight with this beast who's been winning every single Mortal Kombat tournament for how many years? 500 years or something, ever since he beat the great Kung Lao.
It's 9 tournaments, so yeah, it'd be basically 500 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
How can an Earthrealmer stand up to this, but we see Liu Kang overcome him, and then it's like, yes, this is the hope. This is the one. He'll be able to defeat Shang Tsung. And then you could have a fight between him and Shang Tsung, and everyone's hope is riding on this master of martial arts, this master of fire. And I keep thinking of Ken from Street Fighter, because Ken from Street Fighter has more fire in his kicks than Liu Kang. I'm ashamed to say. The kind of fire that Ken brings to a fight. That should be Liu Kang. Liu Kang should be bringing all that fire with all his fire kicks and kicking ass. And he should be such an awesome character where, let's say we have a Mortal Kombat that's just, or a different game even, and Liu Kang was a downloadable character. Man, if we had the proper Liu Kang, I'd be like, yes, take my money. I don't care. I want Liu Kang. I bought Fatal Fury for Kenshiro because Kenshiro. I want the same thing for Liu Kang.
We've definitely got this running theme through Mortal Kombat as a franchise now, where Liu Kang has been getting massively downplayed, and basically since Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 1, Kitana is getting massive like focus, and it's a weird shift because that was like Kitana's been popular, like obviously, but like Mileena is way more popular than Kitana and always has been.
Yeah.
And Liu Kang is the guy. He's your main character. It would be the equivalent of Street Fighter suddenly completely sidelining Ryu in everything, and the main character is Cammy. Like, what Cammy? What? I mean, yeah, she's important, and ironically, she is connected to the bad guy of the story with M. Bison in a way where she has a personal grudge against him. But it would be weird if suddenly she's the main character in a bunch of stuff. But now we've seen it in, she beats Shao Kahn in MK11, and then she has the focus on her in MK1, but then they also switch it to Mileena, which MK1's just a disaster. And now we have it in this movie, which is also weird. But it does create the question, because you mentioned the previous Mortal Kombat tournament. So obviously the conquering of Edenia was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. For the previous 9 tournaments, did Kitana fight in them and kill people from Earthrealm?
No idea.
No idea. It seems like that should come up, because my assumption would be that she has, which is, again, it just goes into how weird it is to introduce Kitana out of nowhere like this without being properly set up. But we were talking about things being done for obvious reasons. Like we talked about how things felt very manipulated, and you had mentioned already something where I'm going to make a stance that I think is probably pretty unpopular, but I'm going to say why I take that stance. Yeah. Cole Young got done dirty in this movie, and it's not right. It's not cool. It shouldn't be done like that.
I agree. I mean, I can appreciate that the directors probably thought, oh, everyone hates Cole Young, let's take him out in a funny way. I can see this side of it too. But because the story's shit, this is what I expect them to do, instead of putting him away properly.
It is the quickest, laziest way to do something like this. It is the easy way out. And it shows you do not care about your first movie. Think about rewatching the first movie now, where you see, imagine you liked the first movie, or imagine you followed the first movie like they actually wanted you to follow the first movie. If you followed the first movie the way the writers and directors want you to follow the movie, you're rooting for Cole Young. He's the main character. You want him to protect his family. You want him to go on into Mortal Kombat to win. And then in this movie, he's got like 3 lines, and then he fights Shao Kahn. He beats Shao Kahn, which again is not an accomplishment. Everyone beats Shao Kahn. He's a complete jobber in this movie. Mm-hmm. And then he gets his head smashed in and melted because he just does. Shut up. Like, yeah, is that satisfying as a movie? Because I can imagine people, because I know people that exist that are like this, that watch A New Hope, the first Star Wars, and they go, Luke Skywalker's kind of lame. Han Solo's cool. Han Solo's a super badass, and Leia's a badass. And all Luke does is really blow up the Death Star. He's kind of lame. He's whiny. He's just a kid. But he's cool in Empire because, he trains with Yoda and he actually learns how to be a Jedi and he gets his head screwed on straight. And he loses against Vader. And I can tell that, he kind of needed that. It made me feel for him because, he finds out Vader's his dad. Spoiler alert, I guess, if you don't know that for Star Wars. And it made me feel bad for him. And he goes to fight for his friends. So yeah, I like him a lot more in that movie. And then in Empire, in Return of the Jedi, he's a total badass because he's a full Jedi. Then he stands up to the Emperor and Vader. You had the opportunity to have your Empire Strikes Back moment with Cole Young and make people like Cole Young if you were a better writer, if you didn't immediately give up, if you didn't immediately fold like a coward because you did a bad job in the first movie for a lot of people. No, no, no. Don't try harder. Don't do better. Just throw that character away. So now everything you did for that character with him as the main character in the first movie, whenever people rewatch that, if they want to watch this as a first movie and a sequel, well, I guess we're with this Cole Young guy until he gets killed by Shao Kahn in a fight that barely matters. Yay! What happens to his family and his daughter that matter in this movie? Who knows? Who cares? Whatever. They'll never be shown.
Yeah,
Great job, guys.
Exactly as you said. Look, I could have warmed up to Cole Young. I could, if they had just instead of just throwing him away, if they decided, you know what, we can do something with this character and give him a good death, I could have warmed up to him, because you know what, Cole Young, I might not like him, but there's something about him. He has a MK Conquest vibe to him. Like, it's like a character you would see in MK Conquest. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with that in a lot of ways. The thing that gets me with him is there's nothing inherently wrong with Cole Young. I think his powers are too powerful. Like, he's got literal plot armor, but I mean, you can just smash him in the head, I guess. And obviously the big problem is we have no idea who this guy is. He's just suddenly in Mortal Kombat, which naturally people will be like, what? Why? And there is no real good reason for it. So I do agree, like, he is like that, like, conquest style character where, like, oh yeah, this is the main character you're playing as that you've never heard of before. Like, he's Shujinko. I don't know who Shujinko is. Okay, yeah, but through the course of the game, you might like him. Oh, okay, all right, I can live with that.
Imagine that.
And they could have made me like Cole.
Yeah, imagine that. You know what? I'll even go as far as to say, you know the word Shujinko, it means protagonist, right? So,
yes.
We hated that Cole Young was the protagonist of the first movie, but imagine if Cole Young actually turned out to be Shujinko. You know?
Right?
Okay. That
you know what? I'm going to say something. I'm going to pitch something here. I know we've been doing some of the work to like rehab parts of this movie, and I'm not doing it out of interest of like, oh, I could write a better movie. That's not the point of doing this. The point is just how easy this is.
Yeah.
Imagine if, you know, we set up in the first movie that we're going to send Cole Young to recruit Johnny Cage. What if you have the second movie be he tries to recruit Johnny and he's super hyped about it? Because we know Cole Young is a fighter. He's a martial artist.
Yeah.
You established in this movie Johnny won martial arts championships. What if the second movie is about, we get to learn more about Cole and a lot more about Johnny Cage? Because Cole Young, who is younger than Johnny Cage, is a giant fanboy of Johnny Cage. He's the reason he got into fighting. He's always known Johnny Cage is legit. Hell, man, Johnny, dude, I got my ass beat the first time in the schoolyard because I was telling people that you were a legit fighter, and they said you were a phony, a Hollywood fake. And I tried to stand up for you, and I got my ass beat for you. And I would do it again because I know you're that guy. And then you could create a dynamic where maybe Cole does lose faith in Johnny because Johnny doesn't want to fight anymore. And maybe Cole gets hurt and he can't fight, or something happens, or, you know, Cole almost dies, or I don't know. Again, I'm not writing the actual story here. But you could have that friendship and that belief Cole has in Johnny help the old Johnny Cage come back. Because he's going to be the Johnny Cage that Cole Young looked up to and that Cole Young believed in. Don't be the me that you are. Be the me that I believe in. Like, you could have done something with that and made both characters likable like that. And you have a more experienced martial artist with Johnny Cage who could maybe teach some stuff to Cole Young. But you have Cole, who's more experienced with Mortal Kombat and the powers that come with Mortal Kombat, trying to teach Johnny about all this insane shit he just walked into, and you can actually form a friendship between them like Luke and Han.
And what you just said, it gave me goosebumps. Can you just imagine exactly what you said, and then there's a point where Cole Young, he's trying to believe in Johnny Cage, but it ends up getting him killed. But he still believes in Johnny, and Johnny sees it, and he's like, I can't let this happen. I can't let people of Earth die just because I don't want to stand up and fight. and that empowers him. Maybe his new green power can come out. Maybe his dragon tattoo can appear on his arm, and he can get his Arcana and have his green powers come. Because of Cole Young. You know, Cole Young could be fit in a way where we could like him, and they would accept him. But they can't be bothered to do this because they don't value their creations. They're just like, just throw him away. It's okay. It'll be funny. If it's funny, it's acceptable.
Yes, and that is my big problem with it is, like you said, they threw away their own creation, which just shows me you have no faith in it because it didn't go the way you wanted in the first movie and you just tossed it. And do I think they should have had Cole Young in the first movie? No. Obviously, I don't. You could have used Liu Kang as your main character. You could have used Johnny Cage. You could have used Sonya Blade. You had so many options for how to format the movie, but you did. And now that you have, you need to follow through on this.
Yeah, I'll always stand by Liu Kang should have been the champion in the first movie, and he should have been a formidable force in this movie. And he was kicking ass, but he wasn't there in the end. It had to be Kitana taking his place, just she could become Kitana Khan. Now, I'm a bit lost on where we are. What's the next?
So after the whole thing where Shao Kahn becomes immortal because they have the amulet now, we get the mission because now Kano decides to defect. Man, good thing you didn't raise him as a revenant because now he can defect. Great plan, Outworld. He defects back to Earthrealm because he wants bitches and money, basically, which is Kano's motivation. Whatever. Still doesn't have a cyber eye, by the way. We had the chance to give him a cyber eye because we set it up in the last movie by stabbing out, but we couldn't come up with a good way for him to have a cyber eye, so fuck that, I guess. He just gets another eye from Quan Chi. Okay, great job.
But look, it was funny. Quan Chi made the eye.
It was funny, though.
He rolled it to him like a bowling ball, and then he picks it up and puts it back in his eye socket, and somehow it connects to his biology. That's funny. So I'm gonna accept it because it was funny. It made me laugh. Yeah.
Oh, it made me hee hee ha ha. So all problems with the script right out the window. For all is forgiven because I made a little tee hee. Okay, all right. I guess that's fine. So he tells them the whole plan, and they then need to go to the Nether Realm because the amulet, instead of staying in Outworld, guarded by all of Shao Kahn's minions and his forces and his citadel and Shao Kahn himself. No, we're going to send it with Beyond to the Netherrealm.
What the fuck,
Sure,
man?
that makes sense. Why not? Oh, wait, that's because we need Scorpion to appear, so fuck it. Sure, okay.
So fucking dumb, man. Like, oh my god. Like, who's more best to protect it than the immortal Shao Kahn himself?
Right, shouldn't he just be wearing it or something? But
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to go to the Netherrealm.
Exactly. I thought it was dumb as well, where they imprinted the amulet on his skin, but then took the amulet away. Like, it should be in his chest, like the... I hate to reference this, but you know how Iron Man has that thing in his chest?
Yes.
Yeah, it should be imprinted in him like that. Like, so in his helmet or something, or in his hammer, somewhere. Like, they just...
Somewhere. His belt.
Yeah, his belt. All they did. Oh, you know how Super Shinnok did it in MKX, where he just absorbed it inside himself. And yeah, I think it became a part of his belt or chest or something, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it becomes his part of his chest, isn't it? I'd have to look it up, but I think you're right.
Yeah, so
it's his chest or his belt.
Imagine if Shao Kahn became Super Shao Kahn. He became some kind of devil creature at the end of the movie, instead of being immortal for the whole movie. If they had shown respect to Shao Kahn from the beginning, instead of making him immortal, so that everyone could beat him, but he could still win. What a shit plot. You actually think this is a good movie, you fucking chimpanzees? Are you serious?
It's so goofy. So we're going to send Johnny Cage because he's eliminated from the tournament because he sucks and lost his first fight, obviously. So he's eliminated from the tournament. We're going to send him and Kano to the Netherrealm to go get the amulet from Noob Saibot, Bihan, whatever. Even though they should absolutely get murdered by him because Sub-Zero was an absolute killing machine in the first movie that would instantly kill them if they were to fight him. And he should be more powerful now as Noob Saibot, but because there's two of him, but whatever. I guess it'll be fine. So they go down there. And we get I guess it's technically 2-on-1, even though there's Noob and his shadow, whatever. And they fight, and then Jade comes to help them because she defects from Shao Kahn because she's loyal to Kitana, blah, blah, blah. And then we get...
bald!
Finally!
Bald!
Oh.
Bald! That SpongeBob meme. Bald!
Bald is beautiful.
Yes.
I don't like it. But, so, and then we've got a 3-on-1 fight, basically, because Bihan is just one person. Even if he has a shadow clone, he's still one guy. So we got a 3-on-1 fight in our 1-on-1 fighting tournament movie. Whatever.
Wow.
So we finally get to see Johnny Cage learn his arcana, though we don't call it that, but it is. And he does his shadow kick when Bihan is already trapped in getting blasted by 2 people at the same time when his shadow clone's been destroyed. And that's how they get the amulet and are able to stop Shao Kahn from having immortality. Wow, man. I'm so glad you were there, Johnny Cage, to throw that kick that one time. Man, made it all worth it. Oh my God, I just realized we totally skipped something, but that's fine. We can talk about it right after this.
All right, I'll just mention one more thing, and then we can go back to that thing. How the fuck does a kick undo an amulet ritual?
It was just so like, guys, Johnny Cage did the shadow kick, so the movie's good now. Like, bro, I don't care. Like, I so don't care.
Shouldn't it be like Raiden gets the amulet and he tries to undo the damage, and then the amulet turns him dark? You know, that's the main kind of thing, isn't it?
I was assuming something like that, or they would tease something like that, but I don't know. So, like, really unimpactful Johnny Cage thing, and we had to... The thing we forgot to mention is they initially tried to get into the fortress with the back door entrance, which set up the whole Netherrealm thing, which is still stupid in and of itself, because they go and talk to the Tarkatans, and the Tarkatans are terrible, and they look stupid, and I'm sorry if anyone's defending how the Tarkatans look in this movie. Like, get eyes. Have Quan Chi make you new eyes because they look so stupid.
And make sure he doesn't roll them to you because you need them.
Yeah, you're gonna put dirty ground goop in your eye socket. You'll get an infection if you do that. So they go and talk to Baraka, and once again, we can't have the Tarkatans that serve Shao Kahn be evil because they're tribal people, and if we make tribal people evil, it's of racism or something. I don't know.
Fuck off.
So, like,
fuck off.
So the Tarkatans are just misunderstood slaves of Shao Kahn or something. It's very lame and boring. And they're going to kill... Baraka is their leader, and he's going to kill Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is a smart mouth. I'm going through this because it's the most paint-by-numbers, boring dialogue, lame, dumb shit ever. It's just really boring. And he runs away from Baraka for basically the entire fight, and then finally fights back and beats his ass, which is probably one of the better action scenes in the movie because it's well lit and you can see what's happening, and it's got energy to it. So kudos for that scene. Some of the wire work is dodgy as shit, but that's fine. And then because Baraka got his ass beat, he likes Johnny Cage, which is like, whatever. I don't love this Baraka. I think he looks stupid, but if that's like, oh, he beat his ass so he likes him. Okay, I can accept that. Whatever, if that's how they work.
Remember Baraka in Mortal Kombat Deception's Conquest? He challenges Shujinko, and Shujinko makes a deal with him. If I beat you... Shujinko challenges him. He says, if I beat you, you have to teach me your martial arts. And Baraka's laughing at him like, come on then, let's do it. And Shujinko kicks his ass. He doesn't do any of that bullshit like, Shujinko, you're so amazing. You've learned everything in just one fight. Wow, I want to serve you now. Let's follow you, and you can be my teacher now, Shujinko. He still maintains his thing, and he tells Shujinko, okay, look, I've taught you some things, but I need to keep some things to myself as well. Now get out of here before I order everyone to eat you or something. You know, he still keeps his Baraka-ness.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, this character, like, I don't really believe a person like this exists. It's goofy MCU writing where it's like, oh, you thought he was going to be mad, but he wasn't mad. It subverted your expectations because he's happy that he got beat up. Okay, does that
fucking
make this a more interesting character?
Shit. It's fucking shit. And there's so many reviewers out there. They're like, "We really like this Baraka. This Baraka was funny. I like this Baraka. This is Baraka." Fuck off.
And it's dumb too because like we compare like I think when we talked about MK1 story, we both agreed the stuff they did with Baraka, even though it's not like regular Baraka, the approach they took with Baraka and his story and character was good in that game. He was one of the good parts of it.
In which, sorry?
In MK1, where he was infected and was trying to still lead his people, even though he was very like, you know, they had the Tarkat.
It's a little bit tough for me when we bring Mortal Kombat 1, because I hate everything in Mortal Kombat 1. I don't accept any.
Fair.
There's not a single part of it I accept. I hate it. The whole thing is dog shit. Oh, wait, there is one thing I like. The Raiden. Titan Raiden. He's fucking sick. He's badass. I love him. Why he's not a playable character, I'm pissed off about that.
We're not allowed to have nice things in Mortal Kombat anymore.
We're not allowed to have testosterone. It would be counterproductive for them if they suddenly boosted the viewers' testosterone, and the testosterone causes them to fight back and say, "No, this is shit. This sucks. We don't accept this. Well, we can't have testosterone in the audience. We need compliance. Put the testosterone away. Comply.
We must have compliance.
Take this shit and eat it and be happy. That's what we want.
Eat the slop. Just eat it. Just eat that slop up, piggy.
Eat the slop.
And it's very... So, I would at least say, like, what they went for with Baraka is probably the best... Like, him and Reptile, the best part of the story mode, where they're, like, actual characters that, like, have some effort put into them. And so, if we... A lot of the people that would praise that Baraka are also praising this Baraka, who's, like, an incredibly shallow character that's just a goofy one-note joke where... I'm angry. You punched me in the balls. Now I like you. Wow, man.
Okay.
What a character.
Oh, man. That just sounds wrong. That does.
And then, so, since he's their friend now, he leads them into the temple with the back secret route, and then we basically never hear anything about them again worthwhile other than the story of Johnny Cage telling them at the end, whatever. But that also leads to... That's how we lose Jax, where they fight Shao Kahn again. Again, multiple people onto one person in this one-on-one fighting tournament movie. Whatever. And once again, my man Jax, that I've loved since Mortal Kombat II, in this new era after Midway, is wasted. Because in MK9, blow his arms off, he'll never do anything again in the story. In MKX, he's a revenant. In MK... 11, he's a sad boy, and then he betrays his realm, and then in MK1, he's not playable. And now it's, oh yeah, one of the heroes of Earthrealm died, so feel bad. Who was it? Just kill Jax again, who cares? Like, give me a break.
Man, aren't they supposed to be into black people and being like, oh yeah, we should have a black hero? Are they doing stuff like that?
It's one of those things where, like, a lot of people cry foul over racism a lot of times, where, like, they'll invent, like, oh, because of this, that means you're racist. It's just like, even if you aren't racist towards Jax, like, it really makes me feel like you specifically hate Jax himself. Is it because he's, like, a cool army guy that's patriotic? Is that why you hate him? Why is it always Jax?
I know.
Is it because he is the testosterone guy? Like, he's the action hero character in the thing? Is that, like, I don't get it. He's so cool.
I know why. It's because they want Sonya to be the chief of the army, and they don't want her looking up to Jax. When he's
very possibly.
He was the boss before, you know. Sonya's answers to him. So, and look, we never had a problem. Like, so you have Jax with his ass beaten in Outworld, and Sonya has to help him, like, get up. You know, come on, let's go. You know.
Yep.
But
again, we're going to talk Annihilation, because Annihilation has a full story arc for Jax where he's relying on the robo arms, and then he takes the robo arms off at the end and just relies on his own strength to beat Motaro. Is the movie still bad? Yes. Does the movie do more and do better by Jax as a character? Somehow also yes, despite being terrible. So I'm going to remind the people defending this movie, Annihilation, a movie everyone thinks is terrible, did Jax better than this movie. Tell me I'm wrong.
And look at that as well. Jax having his story arc and taking his arms off at the end so he can rely on his own strength. This deviates from the games, but it's good. It's something, although it's different, it's still a good plot for Jax. You know, something to, well, you know what, let's see Jax rely on himself. It's different, but it works.
And it's basic and easy, and like Jax is nothing resembling a main character in the movie. He's very much a secondary character, but they still let him have something in the movie. He was a character they introduced, they did something with him, and he has an arc. What is Jax's arc in these two movies? Nothing. Jax gets his arms off, gets robo arms because he believes in himself or something, even though he already believed in himself in the beginning of the movie, in the first one. And then in the second movie, and Jax is standing around doing stuff, and then he dies.
Yeah, at least he beat Jade, so that was surprising.
So what you're saying, Napper, is the one instance of him getting a win is black on black violence? I don't know. You're making me lean more towards that belief in the racism, Napper. I don't know. That seems a little out of pocket on part of the movie. I don't know.
I'm confused. I didn't even know Jade was black. She looks Chinese to me. Isn't she Chinese?
So I don't think so.
It could be.
I'm just going by Jade's general character, where Jade is generally black.
Oh, the actual original Jade. She's from Outworld, so she's neither black nor white.
I guess that's true, technically speaking.
Yeah, a dark Arab. That's what I always consider them as, like Arabs or something. Arabian Nights kind of ladies.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. So we have this whole thing where there's another realm thing, and then we have one of the last matches is going to be Liu Kang versus Shao Kahn, because I've also skipped the fact that we have Kung Lao versus Liu Kang that everyone's hyping as this amazing fight, which is whatever. Yes. Was the fight okay? Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't bad. It's probably the best fight of the movie, maybe. I might actually find the fight with Johnny and Baraka more entertaining because I felt like there's more stakes to it. We're like, Revenant Kung Lao is not killing Liu Kang. Like, it's whatever. And so there's that fight between them where he just kills Kung Lao again on his own hat. The fight's fine. It's whatever. So now we've got Liu Kang versus Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn is made to look like a chump again.
Hold on a minute.
Where he gets beat up.
You're gonna have people in the comments saying, "What are you talking about? That fight was amazing with Liu Kang and Kung Lao. It was one of the best fights ever. They had the portal right behind them, and the portal turned red."
Oh my God! It's a thing I remember. It's a thing I've seen before. ATSTs.
The thing is, I want to go into this Liu Kang Kung Lao fight a little bit. So the thing is.
Oh wait, real quick, one thing.
Yeah.
Tati Gabrielle is the actress that plays Jade. Very pretty young lady. Her acting was fine too, so that's all cool.
Yeah.
Her dad is African American. Her mother is Korean. There we go.
Ah, it is a mix.
We were both right.
Okay, Blackanese. There we go.
She did a fine job. In fact, I don't think any of the performances in the movie were bad. Like Raiden is flat. Like he's probably the worst performance. Everyone did. I don't have any problem with the actors in the movie. I think even if I might disagree with casting for some of the actors or costumes or designs or I thought everyone did a relatively good job. Everyone was fine
except for Raiden.
Except for Raiden.
I thought Jade was fine too. I didn't have a problem with Jade. I didn't once look at Jade and thought, I hate this character. I hate the
Yeah.
actor that's playing Jade. She did a great job, and that's fine. She was bold. There was no explanation for that. But alright, it didn't really take away from her acting. And you know what? To be honest, I didn't really pay attention to her boldness.
I will say what I did find Kitana's actress to be very bland, and a couple of her line readings I thought were very bad. So I'm going to take back that I thought all the actors were good. I thought, and again, it might be a problem with directing or how she's written or how she was told to portray the character. I don't know. I haven't seen her in other movies. I did not like her Kitana, and to be fair, I don't really like the original Kitana from the 90s movie either. I don't think she's very good either.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think she is Kitana, but you have these reviewers on who talk about the 95 movie. They're like, oh, is it Angelina Jolie? She was the perfect Kitana. That's exactly how I want my Kitana to be.
No.
I don't think so.
Silly. No. Silly. So I'm sorry. You were saying I interrupted you for the her ethnic background fact so that we can fact check ourselves.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
You're saying Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
So what I noticed about the Liu Kang Kung Lao fight is, I saw Kung Lao's moves with his hat and all his spinny things, and I thought when I was watching it, I thought, wow, this is a bit like the game. It kind of reminds me of in Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monk, how he moves in that game. And he did
some of the animations are matched basically 1-to-1 with some of the moves that they do in the movie. And not just like special moves, like obviously like Liu Kang did perfect rendition of the fireball in the movie, but even just some of the martial arts maneuvers they do are straight from some of the games, which I thought was cool. That's cool that they do that.
Yeah, and Kung Lao even did the fast punching, and I thought that was cool. So this is actually a good point we're bringing out. The fight was cool, but something about it just didn't hit exactly. And look, you can say I'm being pedantic, you can say I'm being nitpicky, but I want top class sickness when I watch this stuff. I don't want to walk away thinking, it was pretty good, but it wasn't that good. I want top class sickness. I want Liu Kang's muscles to bulge, and he's about to do an uppercut, but then the camera goes in on his arms and his muscles bulge and his vein sticks out, and he uppercuts a fire dragon into the guy. Yeah, that would be crazy. I want to see stuff like that.
It's one of those things where I can't be sold on a movie just on good action scenes. As far as saying it's a great movie, I might say it's a great action movie, but I will give them credit. Like you said, the fight it's shot well for the most part, which is credit to the movie, because a lot of Hollywood action movies have terrible action cinematography. Like things are cut way too often. This lets some shots breathe a little more. Not ideal, probably. It's not to the level of like a Jackie Chan directed movie or a Sammo Hung especially directed movie, because his movies are fantastic for action. Yeah. But it's way better than the average for a fight scene in a modern movie. It's not it's not taken with Liam Neeson with like 17 cuts in 3 seconds.
Yeah. Well, I always bring this up as well. The fight in Tekken 8, Jin Kazama and Kazuya at the end, when Kazuya does this punch, but just before his punch lands, his muscles bulge, his veins stick out, and then he throws the punch. I love that scene, man. It's so cool. It's so manly and
the power.
So much testosterone. Like, I love it.
And it's funny because what you're mentioning is anticipation, which is a big part of what Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan both talk about with their directing style, where they would spend more time on the wind up for a big strike so the audience could anticipate it, and then bam, they'd go right into the attack, and sometimes even show the attack more than once for the impact, so it really drive home that impact, because that moment of anticipation is just as important, because it's like a joke. That's your setup and then punchline, and the punchline just happens to be literal when it comes to an action movie.
One scene that comes to mind is in Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monk's intro, when Liu Kang is fighting with Shang Tsung, and Liu Kang does this flying kick which hits Shang Tsung right in the chin, and you see the camera close up on Shang Tsung's face where his face just twists. It looks like it hurt really bad.
That huge impact. Yeah, and that's one of the things I felt was kind of missing from some of the stuff with Shao Kahn. Like, he just didn't have a lot of impact on his stuff. He's just too weak in general. We also forgot to mention in the tournament, because the tournament is, again, barely in the movie and not very interesting. Sonya fights Sindel, who is just a mindless revenant with no dialogue, basically, that just says generic evil things, because the dialogue in this movie is terrible. It's like AI-generated dialogue of like, I must beat you. You can't win. You need to know that. I will stand up to you. Oh, is that the best you've got? Like, those aren't exact lines. Some of them might be exact lines, though, but they're all on that level of just awful dialogue. The most bland, boilerplate, generic dialogue imaginable. And Sindel fights, loses to Sonya, and that's it. Yeah, that's basically it. Sindel, who is a extremely long-running, popular character from Mortal Kombat, basically just a zombie that doesn't get any development or characterization, even as, again, somehow, Mortal Kombat Annihilation does more with the relationship between Kitana and her mother than happens in this movie. This movie is once again outdone with what it does with its characters by Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I continue to ask for comments from defenders of this movie. In the comments, tell me why it's good when I can say that. Can you argue that point that Mortal Kombat Annihilation does more with Sindel and Kitana than this movie does? I don't think you can.
Too bad they won't get it. You get it?
I do. Oh, the most infamous line. It's like, and again, yeah, her acting's really bad. Her costume's really bad. Sindel's really lame in the movie.
I don't get this thing. People say the line where she says, "Too bad you will die," and it's become such a meme that this is the worst scene ever. But I'm oblivious to it. I don't understand what's so bad about it. Can
it being bad is a meme. It being bad is the meme more so than it being bad. I think really what it is, everyone has just, it's like a spirit bomb. All of Mortal Kombat Annihilation raised its hands into the air, and Sindel in that one scene with that one line was on the Supreme Kai planet. And she gathers all of the terrible that everyone knows about the movie. All of that energy gathers into Sindel in that meme for that one line. And everyone just identifies the badness of the movie via that one line now. That is the spirit bomb of bad for that movie. That's why people just say it's so terrible. It really isn't that terrible. It's just got all the chi of everyone in that movie that did something bad.
See, this is kind of like a monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. One monkey looked at it and said, "This is bad," and then turned it into a meme. Now everybody, I guess most people as well, just like me, don't understand why it's bad. They just said one monkey said it's bad, so I'm gonna copy what that monkey did. Monkey see, monkey do, and they think
you are definitely right, but you're not immune to it, because I know when I was describing the spirit bomb just now, you almost started to raise your hands to give power to Goku.
I did. How did you know that?
Monkey see, monkey do, because it's awesome, and everyone does that when Goku raises his hands. We're not immune.
I do it every time. You know what? Actually, this is true. Every time I stretch and put my hands up in the air, I feel like I'm giving power to the spirit bomb, and I can't get that out of my psyche. It's just there. It just happens.
The fun thing is if you're ever with kids and you're watching Dragon Ball with them, and like you tell them, like, get your arms up now for Goku, get your arms up.
I do it.
And that's great.
I even get my wife out of the kitchen and say, "Stop cooking, give your arms to Goku, like, give him some power."
We need to win. The Earth's on the line.
Yeah, and you know that scene where everybody we're going way off track now, but that scene where everybody like Goku, 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 do it, like joining
Do
in with
it.
that. It's just amazing.
That's the hype moment.
That's
So like,
interactive.
all right, so where were okay? So
Yeah, sorry.
it comes down to Shao Kahn versus Liu Kang, which it actually should be in one of these movies.
Yeah.
And Shao Kahn's still immortal in Mortal Kombat, so even though he's getting his ass whooped by Liu Kang, he doesn't lose because he can't die. So he stabs Liu Kang, and Liu Kang maybe dies, but then he's like Poochie from Simpsons, and his home planet needs him, so he turns into fire and disappears and is never mentioned again. This is good writing, apparently.
Somebody commented that exact thing what you just said now, the Poochie thing.
Because everyone thinks it. It's exactly what it is. It's he needs to leave the movie now. Goodbye.
And we don't know what what that's supposed to be. I guess we're supposed to wait till the next movie to see what happened. Is it a
Guys, I'm leaving for a Shaolin Monk spin-off movie. Goodbye. It's never gonna happen. Goodbye. Like, what are we doing?
I know what happened. I think he was trying to do that fatality where the arcade machine drops from the sky, but Shao Kahn got out of there just in time.
Yeah, it hit the roof instead. It didn't fall far enough to break through the roof. It's just sitting on the top of the castle now.
Yeah, it'd be funny if someone goes up there and there's actually the arcade machine up there.
They're like, what the hell? What is this doing up here? They just pop in a quarter and start playing.
I'll try my best not to get you off track now. We've been over 2 hours at this and I'm still full of energy. I could keep going.
Oh, hell yeah. So, okay, so Liu Kang just disappears because he's like, I'm not the main character, so I can't win. Goodbye. It's super lame. It's whatever. And then, so Shao Kahn wins. Shao Kahn undoubtedly, inarguably wins Mortal Kombat. The last light goes out, Outworld wins. And then it's like, oh, it's over. And then Kitana is like, no, I fight for Earthrealm. And it's like, once again, shut up, bitch. You have lost your chance. The tournament is over. There is a winner. You don't get to just go, now I'm going to fight Shao Kahn, especially when we've previously established champions from Earthrealm are chosen. You don't get to make yourself a champion. We've already established this. Where's your dragon mark? Come on, what are we doing?
This is so bullshit. This means Raiden can just go to anyone in Outworld and convince them. He could convince Motaro, hey, why don't you join Earthrealm and just fight for us instead? He could convince some Shokan. So Earthrealm warriors would be filled up with Shokan, Baraka mutants, centaurs, some other, an Oni from Netherrealm. He can go and convince anyone to join his team. All they have to do is say, I declare my allegiance to Earthrealm.
It's so lame. It's so stupid. It's such a cop-out. Like, you didn't do your work in the story to make this possible, and it's actually, by the rules you established, not possible. And even if it was, I'm sorry, it's past the deadline. You don't get to just go, oh, I'm changing sides in this tournament. Tournament's over, lady.
Exactly, and it was won by an immortal. There's so much bullshit in this movie, and there's people out there saying, oh no, you know, this is how it was in Mortal Kombat 2. Kitana is supposed to get revenge on Shao Kahn. That's how it was, you know, we can accept that. You know, this isn't a bad thing. Fuck off. Cunt.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck off. It's so stupid. So then it turns into, well, they got rid of the amulet in time, even though basically she kills Shao Kahn again, but he's still immortal, so he doesn't die again, because we need to see Shao Kahn literally die like 4 or 5 times this week, because he's just really shit at fighting, apparently.
So fucking bullshit. And
it's so bad.
And they love this movie. They say this is one of the best Mortal Kombat movies ever. What is wrong with you, man? You're listening. We're 2.5 hours in. By this point, at least you could be thinking, you know what? Maybe these guys are right. How the fuck are you gonna come? How the fuck are you gonna come to me and convince me this movie was good after all what we just talked about in 2.5 hours, and we're not even done yet?
speaking of being done, we get to the point where now Shao Kahn is going to be done. Because he doesn't die, though he becomes immortal and gets, like, stabbed.
Yep.
So he loses immortality, and he grabs Kitana and is choking her out.
Yeah.
Which takes way too long, considering Shao Kahn should be able to rip her head off.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's choking her with a hand, and she passes out, but then she remembers her dad, and oh my god, blah, blah, blah. And she, remembering her dad, brings oxygen back into her brain, I guess. And she then unveils her super weapon that is way more powerful than Shao Kahn, which is called a silk ribbon from her hair, like against Jade, where 300 pounds of muscle Shao Kahn is tied up like a little baby calf by a rodeo clown, where Kitana flips over him and, oh my god, a hair ribbon. I am Shao Kahn and I can't get out of this. And then she cuts his head into like 3 pieces. Best Mortal Kombat movie of all time.
It's so fucking ridiculous, man. Imagine tying up a Conqueror of Realms with a hair ribbon and he can't get out of it. What is more bullshit than that? You're trying to tell me that this is fine. Kitana is supposed to get revenge on Shao Kahn. Are you fucking dumb?
It's something. It's like, are we really gonna say this is okay, guys? Like, but you don't understand. It's the hair ribbon trick she did with Jade, and it's the ribbon from her dad. Yeah, you just said the word ribbon twice in there, and there's no point where Shao Kahn should get beaten by a ribbon.
It's a
Come on.
It's a piece of fabric, man. Jared couldn't put him down despite multiple times stabbing him. Even in the armpit, he stabbed him. I'm pretty sure there's a pressure point up there he could have stabbed. But he got defeated by a ribbon. A ribbon made of fabric. I wonder what this fabric is made of.
Adamantium, apparently. She visited Marvel Earthrealm and got adamantium to tie him up with. So, yada yada yada. She's the Duke of Earl, the Queen of Edenia, ruler of Outworld, winner of Mortal Kombat, the bestest, coolest, and no one gives a damn about her character because she's lame as hell and super boring. Shao Kahn's dead because he's a giant loser. And then, even though people have died, Raiden is like, that's fine, let's go bring them back to life. Cool stakes, guys. Like, what does it even matter in this if people die? Clearly it doesn't. We're just going to get them back again. Okay. Wow, man. Great. Whatever. And then I can already hear the people, it's Mortal Kombat. People always come back to life. Okay. Yep. It's always been dumb and bad. Whatever. It can just be dumb and bad. We can just erase the stakes of our movies where people died because people come back in sequels to video games, and there's no difference between the medium of a video game and the medium of a movie. Just fuck stakes and storytelling. Throw it all in the trash. I guess Cole will be fine. He got melted in the Deadpool. Just bring him back to life. Who cares? Whatever. Yep, 10 out of 10. Perfect movie. Love it.
You said that, it's Mortal Kombat, you know, people come back to life all the time. Well, okay, if we're gonna go by that logic, how come Raiden was incapacitated by one slit on his throat? When in the Mortal Kombat games... Well, you need to remember,
Napper, that is the shell game that they play that I hate. This is different from the video game, and you complain about it being different. It doesn't matter that it was in the video game. It's a movie. It's different. But if the movie does something really stupid, they can also just play the card of, but it's like that in the game, so it's fine for the movie. You should like it.
Playing both sides.
Drives me crazy.
It's insane. Like, you watch the X-ray moves in the games and you think, how the hell are you supposed to stand up from that? And they go ahead and stand up from it. But it's a game, you can accept it. If they did that in the movie, it's like, it's dumb. But...
yeah, imagine if they used that logic in the movie. They do an X-ray in the middle of the fight and they stab someone's brain with a blade through their skull, and then the person just keeps going up and fighting, and someone goes, well, that's not very realistic. And I look at him and I go, oh, but it does it in the game, so it's fine, right? No, it's not.
Just imagine one of those X-rays. You know how when somebody's jaws cracks to pieces inside their head, their jaw is shattered. Imagine that happens in the movie, and then they get up and they're like, "Is that all you got?"
Yeah, right. Well, so that's it. That's all there is to the movie, and that's all I have for notes. That we've gone through everything.
Wow. Okay. So look, you can like the movie if you wanna. That's your choice.
Yep.
Like, if you wanna come out as gay, that's your choice. I don't care. That's your right. But if
Napper
you say,
more mean than me. More mean than me.
if you say this movie is good, you're a retard. You're retarded. I'm sorry.
I will say if you like this movie, it's fine to like this movie. It's fine to enjoy it and think it's fun. More power to you. You enjoyed it. I can't change your opinion if something is fun. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. That's fine. More power to you. If you think this is a good movie, no. And if your defense is it's supposed to be bad because Mortal Kombat is bad, well then you're just saying it's a bad movie. We agree it's bad. But if you want to defend them, I will throw an open challenge. I don't think you'd have a problem. We can get someone in a follow-up stream. If you're a Mortal Kombat creator and you don't like any of our takes on this movie, you want to defend the movie, step up and defend it. We can discuss it. Maybe I made some mistakes here in what I called out. We can go over the movie and you can show how awesome it is. And maybe I'm wrong about a lot of this stuff, and maybe Napper's wrong about a lot of the stuff. But if you want to claim this movie's like good, do it with your full chest. Come and actually say it to our faces digitally, and we'll discuss this actual movie and its merits. We'll actually go into it.
Yeah, apparently I don't know any of the lore of Mortal Kombat according to some of the comments I've seen. So if you think I'm wrong, let's have a conversation. Let's see.
We'll have real Mortal Kombat. We'll have a Mortal Kombat debate.
I don't know how someone's gonna convince me this is good after we've laid it all out clearly in front of their eyes. Like, there's no way you can refute this. No way. And the only way you can refute it is if you're like, if you watched a different movie. If the movie you saw, it was completely different to what we saw. Maybe I watched the wrong
Bring
thing.
it on. Bring it on. I want to hear the arguments that this movie's actually good. I legit want to hear them. Because I've watched videos and I don't hear any arguments. I just hear, the fight was really cool. Oh, it was funny. Oh, it was good. You're not talking about the story. You're not talking about the plot. You're not talking about all the problems with that story and plot. So, come on.
Yeah, there's some people in our server too. They're like, oh, we like the movie. I just went to watch it yesterday and it was great. I loved it. And,
Step up.
Why are you coming here? And see, can you defend your argument? Or are you just gonna stay quiet now?
I am standing on a narrow walkway. 40 feet below me is a pit full of spikes. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Speaking of spikes, how lucky is Sonya and Sindel in that whole fight that none of them landed on the spikes that are just popping in and out of the ground? How lucky.
Yeah, the random spike pit. Like something out of like a goofball comedy. Dumb.
I
think that's it for me with this.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you. I can't stress any more than what I've just done today. We've had video 1, 2, and 3, and this is the final nail in the coffin. This one, it can't get any more clear than this. If you still think this is a good movie, I got no words left for you. You do what you want. Enjoy the movie. When the next Mortal Kombat comes out and you see Kitana is the next ruler of Outworld and she wants to conquer Earthrealm this time. Yeah, you enjoy that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, forget about all the lore. Forget about the comics. Forget about Borai Cho not being able to join Mortal Kombat because if he did, it would be a victory for Outworld. Forget about Raiden being imposing, strong, 7 foot. Like he's supposed to be 350 pounds, I believe he's supposed to be as well. How do you fight
big
that?
Dude.
How do you fight him? But he got flashed by a
this is a fatality. The movie's done. If someone wants to try to defend its corpse, bring it. But I think we've laid out why it's bad.
You know, if someone actually takes up the challenge, I'm just gonna laugh at them.
I hope they do. I hope they do. I would love to have that discussion. I would. You know me. I like a good debate, and I will formally debate someone on that. So I say, bring it on.
Yeah. Okay then. I'm done from my part. I hope you enjoyed that, and
Super fun.
yeah, I enjoyed it very much. It was great, and hopefully I don't have to talk about this stupid movie anymore. But yeah.
Until next time, then, when we talk about something else, maybe Dragon Ball, maybe who knows.
Yeah, Dragon Ball. We gotta do Dragon Ball debates. And I want to talk about other things too. I might do streams on Mortal Kombat Deception Conquest again. Because I feel drawn to that again. I want to do it. Okay.
Alrighty.